Hello and welcome to Let's Talk About Meh. Today it's just going to try and be a short video. I want to talk about Elimination Chamber 2025. We're going to talk some WWE. Now, I've been pretty much most of my life a pro wrestling fan. For those that don't know, I am an active professional wrestler myself. I've been doing it for 12, 13 years. Feels a lot more on my body. And yeah, so I think Elimination Chamber 2025 is worth talking about. So before I get into it, let's just get all the other stuff out of the way first, the socials. If you wish to send me a message through email, it's official LetsTalkAboutMeh at gmail.com. I'm also on Instagram at LetsTalkAboutMeh1. I'm also on TikTok, the TikToky. Let's Talk About Meh 6. If you want to keep up to date with the daily stuff in that, it's Instagram and TikTok. And the YouTube is where you are now. And as ever, you found it. Well done. Go you. Have a cookie. Right, let's get right into it, because I don't want to prattle on too much today. So before I get into the meat and bones bit, I want to say first off straight away, a lot of this is my opinion, wrestling fans in particular. We as consumers viewing wrestling, especially in this day and age with the interwebs, we have a lot of opinions. It is an opinion. It is solely my opinion. My opinion does not make your opinion invalid. A lot of what I say you will think is wrong, and that is totally fine. Your opinion is your opinion, and my opinion is my opinion. I have nothing but the utmost respect for every performer, especially as I do it myself. I know what's involved. I know how hard this is. I know how hard a level that they perform and work at. I kind of feel like I have a slight insight than the standard person that watches it. But these are my opinions. Do not take them to heart, because we all know what folk on the internet are like, especially wrestling fans. We can be very, very passionate about these things. So again, just my opinion. Right, let's roll. The opener for Elimination Chamber 2025 was the women's. We had Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez from NXT. I think she's probably main roster now, I would say she's main roster now. Bayley and Naomi. So, first of all, I'm not going to go through each match like a breakdown through everything that happened. That's not what I'm here for. I'm just going to go over some of the highlights and some of the talking points and then move on quickly. So yeah, I mean, the obvious one straight away, the women's one, was Jade Cargill coming out at the start. I had said when they revealed on the weekly television shows on SmackDown, I think it was, that Liv and Raquel had attacked Jade Cargill and put her on the injury list. I was thinking it might have been Naomi. When Liv, they couldn't have done a repeat of what Liv did to Rhea. So I was thinking it's got to be Naomi, because it kind of looks like that's how she got her tag spot. I don't know where that storyline's going. I've enjoyed it. But yeah, Jade Cargill coming out and whopping Naomi was brilliant. I mean, I popped, and she beat the living hell out of her. And the aggression from Jade was on point. Bianca Belair's screaming and wailing and acting in the chamber as she couldn't do anything. She watched her best mate wallop her other best mate. Yeah, that was good stuff. Good stuff. And when Jade rammed the cell door into Naomi's head again, safe as houses, because the door's on a rail system, and the moment you put any pressure against it, it's going to stop. But it looked so good, and the noise, yeah, spot on. Oh, sorry, Richard. There you go. The only thing that I felt and there's no way around it, you had such a moment to pop that off as soon as the match actually got started, the crowd was down a little bit. Not in a bad way. It was just like you've just had this big moment and you've got to pull them back in again, which took a while. Um, I'm going to be jumping back and forth. I know it was later on, but Alexa, I was a huge Alexa Bliss fan. I was really, really heavy into WWE when Alexa Bliss was on NXT when she first debuted as the sparkly cheerleader. And then watching her be teamed up with, oh God, with Buddy Murphy and Wes. I forget his last name, but Wes. That tag team was brilliant. And when she turned into the right little bitch character. And then, of course, when most folk know her when she debuted as, was it Empress or something like that? But yeah, she's gone through so many iterations. Obviously, the last few have been a bit messy with the Bray stuff, which again, the Bray stuff was brilliant, but obviously, whatever it is that Alexa has that she was injured with, I'm guessing concussion. How she kept, I think she was given the GM role for a while, and then disappeared, then came back, and then disappeared again. Obviously, the last disappearance has been pregnancy, which is great. But I think it's a concussion. And I have this weird inkling that it's one of those situations that if it was anyone else, I think they would have been dropped. But because Alexa was popular as anything, and she was she's a brilliant asset to the company as well. She's a good actress, she's a good performer, and she does well in any sort of job that she's put in. I kind of feel it was a waiting game, and they gave her years worth of time to see where this was going. So, and I have noticed when I'm watching the matches, anytime there's a big spot with Alexa in this chamber, ref's looking at Alexa, and the ref checks on Alexa first. So I'm thinking it's concussion. So Alexa, she was on point in this. The ring rust's beginning to leave. I thought she was a little bit rusty when she had her first match back on SmackDown, but yeah, a lot of it was the Alexa playbook going through it, and it was good. And I was happy to see Twisted Bliss getting hit again. I don't know why. I love that move. I love Twisted Bliss. So simple, but I've always liked it. Roxanne Perez. I'm a huge Roxanne Perez fan. Huge. I've followed her on NXT specifically. I've just got really back into watching wrestling on a weekly basis with my son Corvin last year. So NXT was where we started. And I've really enjoyed Roxanne Perez as the heel champion. She's not champion now. But yeah, she's getting red carpet treatment because every match she's in, like she's the longest time in the women's rumble. She got a lot of good spots in that. Same in the chamber. She got to show off a lot of what she can do. The only thing that I don't like about Roxanne Perez, and it got better. It'll get better with time. Is I'm not keen on her mic work. I don't like her talking, but that's just my opinion. But I think it's one of the things where she'll get a lot better as she goes. But I mean, for as young as she is, she's an amazing performer. Amazing. Uh, the whole story near the end with Alexa as well, which I quite liked, was after all the initial eliminations, the connection, which I think they'll make the connection between the Wyatt Six and Alexa. That's what fans want, and I think that's what they're going to do, especially since Alexa's gear's got like homages to the Fiend and Bray, and the fact that her leather jacket and the skirt was made by the prop maker that did the Fiend mask and everything. Um, Ironically, I was not watching wrestling during the Fiend period. I did watch when Bray Wyatt was in NXT with the cult leader thing and the whole thing where the Shield and the Wyatt family petered off not long after Daniel Bryan had joined. So I wasn't there for the Fiend stuff, which is really ironic considering that the gear I'm in now, I've been told that the stripy trousers were with the Fiend thing. So yeah, but yeah, I wasn't there for that. But I think they're gonna make the connection because couple of weeks ago, whenever this video goes out, I don't know, but a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown, Alexa had her second match on SmackDown. There was a wee VHS, very, very quick, but there was a wee VHS glitch as the match was going, so that hints that there's a connection there. I was waiting for something more substantial in the chamber, but it didn't happen. But what did happen was they told a little physical story where she kept trying to lock in the Sister Abigail DDT, which I was doing first. That's my finish. It's fine. WWE can have it. It's fine. So yeah, I'm humble like that. Yeah, I love how they teased that story, and when she did hit it, she was immediately eliminated. Which fan me was like, no, but I get why. But I love that little story bit. Liv Morgan put a fucking shift into that. Wowzers. She took some punishment. And I find it weird that a couple of years ago, when they were trying to figure out what they were doing with Liv Morgan, when they made her like dark, and then they made her slightly unhinged, and then it was like, oh, I'm going to be hardcore now and throw myself through everything. There were so many misfires with Liv Morgan, and I've been rooting for Liv Morgan since NXT when she first debuted on it with the back cap and the football shirt. But can you believe that Liv Morgan's first finisher was a powerbomb? By the way. I'd be like backdropping off a wee stool. But Liv Morgan is extremely talented. If you watch or if you follow any of her social media, like years ago, when she had her own ring and actually would train with Natty, or she'd train at her own wee complex, like she can do some lucha stuff, like heavy duty sequences with hurricane ranas and spins, and some of that's getting integrated now. But I thought it was a shame that Liv was getting a lot of hate for being, yeah, it's Liv Morgan. I just think what she was given was complete misfires every time under the then VMAC management. But I think it's great. I've enjoyed the feud with Rhea. I enjoy the whole her being in a Judgment Day thing. Her and Dominic being together has not been the dominant thing. They kind of like, oh, we're together, and now they get the odd backstage segment, but they're never. They're never integral to each other, which I like. They don't crutch on it. Liv does not need Dominic to get in and over, but I love heel Liv. There's a bit at the start with the Jay Cargill beatdown where she goes up to the pod and basically gets in Bianca Belair's face. It's like, that's your fault. That's your fault. And then slaps the chamber and walks off laughing. That's just, I love heel Liv. Also, since Liv's turned into this super heel, when she sells, she does this thing where bottom lip, she's like, the whole lip comes out. And funnily enough, my wife was sitting when we were watching it, and she brought it up too. She was like, that bloody lip. I was like, it's amazing, isn't it? But yeah, Liv Morgan, absolute shift. She was brilliant in it. Bianca Belair wins. Wouldn't have personally been, as a fan, the choice that I wanted. But I get where they're going storyline with it. With the tag team breaking up, Bianca Belair needs to be put back into the title scene. So that makes sense. As Miles, once again, rattling away. Hello. Here we go. Here we go again. Yep. Hi. I'm not bringing you up this time because you'll just attack me again like last time. So yeah, it wasn't what I wanted, but the moment that Bianca Belair won, I know the title match between Rhea and Io is due to happen on Raw. I haven't watched Raw yet. I haven't got any spoilers yet, but I've got a funny feeling that because Bianca's won, I don't think anybody really at this moment wants to see Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. That doesn't make any sense. There's no like money grab to that for Mania. Io is getting well over. She's had a natural progression recently where the crowd's really taken to her. War Games put her up there with that mental moonsault with the bin on her. But Io's personality is coming over, and I love Io Sky as well. I think Io Sky is going to get a title. I think Io's going to get a title, and then we're going to head on to. I don't think it's going to be Io and Bianca. It's going to either be Io, Bianca, and Rhea, a triple threat, which would be awesome. I want to see that actually. So yeah, overall, I'll say the same as last year. I think the women's chamber was better than the men's. Uh, from a watching standpoint at that point, not story beats, not things that happen. I don't know why. I just think the women's one utilized the chamber more. There was more interesting spots with the chamber, with the walls and whatnot. So that was it. That's. I'm going to leave that there. Don't shout at me. I know you're shouting at me. So yeah, moving on. Second match of the card was Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. It was weird. It was weird. It wasn't great. It wasn't an amazing match. It wasn't bad by any means. It was a token legend match because the show was in Canada. Trish Stratus, Canadian legend. I felt Trish deserved better. Trish can do better than that and can give more than that. Tiffany Stratton is well over as the SmackDown Women's Champion right now and did not need. Tiffany didn't need to be teamed with Trish, and Trish didn't need Tiffany. I haven't hated the whole storyline between Tiffany Stratton getting the title off of Nia and her little minion Candice LeRae. My problem with the whole thing was a match just. It's hard to follow up a chamber match anyway, but it wasn't a great match. And for me, there was a vibe through that whole thing where, right, Nia Jax gets a lot of hate for obvious reasons, right? If you're a wrestling fan, you know what it is. It's not just that she's had shaky moments with ability and safety issues. Just Nia Jax has a general dislike. I'm one of those people. I don't like Nia Jax. I think some of her safety issues in the past, I don't like it. I really don't. I think it's been unnecessary. The safety issues with Charlotte years ago was one of the main ones. What she did to Rhea Ripley when she sat on her with her finish, but legitimately crushed her. I mean, that was that company's champion at a time and put her at high risk of snapping her ribs. I don't like it. And I think Nia Jax, I don't know Nia Jax personally, obviously, but she either is very, very good at the heel that she plays with this aura of an attitude problem and entitlement, or that is really her. I don't know. But I don't like her as a fan, and I just don't like her work. But I was thinking her work was getting better. Chair shots at War Games aside, War Games was really bad, but I felt like her matches after War Games were increasingly getting better. And then when Trish came on the scene, she just no, she went the completely the opposite way. If anybody saw the double sit down crush thing, on Trish and Tiffany, she didn't even touch them. She refused to crush Trish, and it looked really bad. So leading in this tag match, I wasn't hyped for it. I would much rather Tiffany Stratton had a solo match against anyone. But yeah, I wasn't digging it. It was just a bit of a nothing burger for me. The other thing annoyed me about this match is Candice LeRae is a bit of a legend and a vet in her own right. She's been wrestling for a long, long time, especially in the Indies, PWG. She was one of the big viral internet sensations of intergender wrestling, where she was getting absolutely thrown about by men. A lot of them were her getting like folded in half with spears and such other moves. And the last while on SmackDown, and in this match in particular, I feel Candice LeRae's completely tuned it. I don't think she's happy with what she's doing. I don't think she's it's coming through, which is not good. She just looks like she is not into whatever she's doing, and I feel that's affecting her performance. Candice LeRae is way better than that, and I guess she's just kind of fed up. Maybe, I don't know. That's the vibe I'm getting, and it came through. It came through to me when I'm watching television screen. It just that's the way I interpreted it. I'm overlooking into it. It wasn't like it was awful, but just yeah, Candice LeRae's way better than that. I was a huge Candice LeRae fan. I would, as I said, I would have preferred a solo Tiffany match. Trish was great in it. Trish can still go with the very little that she had to do in it. But there was a really weird moment at the end of that tag match. I don't know if anyone spotted this. So Trish gets, is it Trish? No, Candice LeRae gets up and overed. No, Trish goes out first, I think. All right, Trish goes out to the apron first, and Tiffany's in the corner. Now the first one, it happens twice. And the first one, I'm like, all right, that's what could have been happening. And the first one, Trish lands on the apron, and Tiffany Stratton gets in, and then Tiffany boots her, like scoofs back away and like get off the apron. And then in comes Candice LeRae for an up and over, and then she falls onto the apron. Now at this point, I interpreted that as Tiffany was telling Trish, "You need to move because we know Candice is coming, and I don't want Candice to land on you, Trish. I don't want you, Trish, getting hurt." Then Candice went down and fell to the floor. Trish did not go to the floor. Trish is still on the apron. Then Tiffany Stratton turns round, looks at Trish, and holds the top rope and boots Trish Stratus to get her off the apron. What's going on there? Nothing else was happening with the apron. No one else was up and over. There was no more action happening on the apron, and it was leading into the finish. And then they set up the finish, and they set up in the other corner to do the finish. Only thing I can think that was a case of, you're in the way of the shot. I don't want you lying on the apron in the shot of me doing my moonsault and beating Nia Jax. That's the only way I can interpret that as a TV thing. It was I don't think it was a give me my moment, Trish, piss off as I finish the match. I don't know if it. I hope it was a case of, I know how TV, like Tiffany was thinking, I know how TV works. I want a clean shot, so get off the apron. It was just really weird, and I found it a little bit disrespectful that she booted her twice. The first one, yeah, I can understand. It looks like she's trying to set something up, or maybe she was like, "Oh, Candice is coming, get out of the way." But the second one is literally like, "Get out of my shot." It's very strange. Tiffy wins, as she was gonna. The champ's not gonna lose. Especially the Canadian megastar legend isn't gonna lose. But it wasn't. It did nothing for me as a fan. Again, my opinion. I think there was better options. It would make no sense, but you could have even done like a wee exhibition match between Tiffy and Trish, and have the whole Tiffy can go over clean, the Canadians be pissed off, but Trish should be happy about it. Have a wee endorsement, Trish and her hug it out. Nia Jax ran down with Candice, try to ruin the celebration and be mean buggers about it. Trish and Tiffy team up, fight the two heels off, sets up a match on SmackDown where Trish and Tiffy could have had the tag match on SmackDown, where that kind of felt where that match should have been on a weekly show. Anyway, Super Booker Dave. Moving on. Third match, Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. Here comes the controversy. I don't like Sami Zayn anymore. I'm sick of Sami Zayn. I'm so sick of Sami Zayn. And that is just as a fan. I got nothing against the guy. He's got a wealth of talent. He's great. I'm just sick of him. I just can't get behind him. I can't. Kevin Owens. I like Kevin Owens. I've got, again, but Kevin Owens has been Kevin Owens for so long. I prefer heel Kevin Owens because he's good at being a dick. This is a slightly different Kevin Owens where he's somewhat self-entitled. I like the story that they came up with very quickly between Kevin and Sami with the whole "it's your fault, you were never there for me." I like the whole how the pile driver is becoming deadly and it's injuring everyone. I like the whole unsanctioned thing. I like the storyline. I've been a wrestling fan for a long time, and I used to watch 2000s indie wrestling. I can't see Kevin and Sami anymore. I've seen it so many times. And it'll never be as nuts as it was in Ring of Honor when it was El Generico and Kevin. So I went into this with low, kind of like, all right, it's going to be good because it's two amazingly great workers. Just me as a fan, I just wasn't digging it. I really enjoyed the match because it was stupid. It was a stupid match. It pulled me in, and the point where I really got locked in this match was when Sami just randomly picked up Kevin on the outside when they're brawling, and then for no reason at all, just, there you go, poof, beat through one table. Do you know what? We'll not oversell that. Just pick it up and poof into another table. And I kind of knew what we were in for. It was everything it should have been. It was stupid. It was safe. It was a very, very safe gimmick match. There was nothing in that that was too overly crazy. Hearing things and reading things on the dirt sheets that barbed wire was like they requested real barbed wire on the chair. Nah, that's bullshit. The way Kevin's face hit that, face and eye hit that, he should have been shredded open. It was gimmick barbed wire. There's no way in WWE that day and age. Oh yeah, we'll just let you grate your face across it. No, 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 no. But I enjoyed it. I liked it, and I like how Kevin was like kept his eyes squinted as if he was the whole time. I liked how Sami sold the neck and the getting the pins and needles in the arm. It was good. My only issue is it went on too long. It went on far too long. There was too many false finishes towards the end, and the crowd actually began to. There is actually a point when they kicked out, and the crowd was like, "Oh, yay!" But boys, come on. It just went a little bit on a bit. And then, Kevin Owens wins, which is what I thought it was going to be because Kevin can't lose again. That would be a bit of a bury-in. He's come off the loss to Cody. He needs to be built back up. And Orton came out. I've got nothing against Orton. I like Orton. Kind of thought it was going to happen anyway. I just like how they teased the punt. The punt was the thing. And I hope he never hits the punt because it should never happen. I mean, that's concussion given stuff. There's no reason at all in wrestling where somebody should be legitimately kicking you in the head. I know it's got like legendary status and whatnot, but no, I hope he never hits it because it's stupid. Teasing it was enough. On to the next one. I didn't, as I say, didn't hate the match. I liked it. It just went on a bit long, and I was genuinely surprised just because I have Sami and Kevin exhaustion. Somebody said to me like, "Oh, it's going to be Sami and Kev at WrestleMania," and I genuinely just went, "Oh, I just don't want to see it again." It's money. I mean, it would be a money making match. It's what everyone loves them to kick the crap at each other, and you always get a decent performance, a really decent performance when two of them go. I've seen it too many times, far too many times. Like it's almost like Orton versus Cena levels of like. I don't need this in my life anymore. It's not going to be a bad match. You know you're going to get a good match. You get two folk that know each other inside and out. Giggity. Know their work, and you get consummate professionals. Awesome performance. I don't want to see it. Fourth match, men's chamber. So the men's elimination chamber was CM Punk versus Logan Smith versus Drew McIntyre versus John Cena versus Seth Rollins versus Damian Priest. I was not locked into this, and I don't know why. I was not feeling it going in. I was tired at this point, admittedly. I was fatigued because I watched it live. My son wanted to watch it live. This was his first. No, it was his second live event. Yeah, it's his first proper one he's watched live to the point where he had a nap beforehand. I did not get a nap beforehand, so I was kind of the eyes were rolling at this stage, and I remember watching the entrances, and I was like, "Boys, can we go times two, please? Get just for me, Look, fuck your time slots, just for me, David James Hobbs and Highlands. Can we just get in your cubicles and ring a bell because I'm I was struggling, so that probably affected my enjoyment as well. But I drifted in and out of it, not of sleep, but I drifted in and out of tension wise. I struggled. My biggest issue is I don't like Logan Paul, and I'm not saying that as a wrestling fan. I don't like Logan Paul. Logan Paul should be in fucking jail. Logan Paul is a piece of shit. Logan Paul is a dirtbag. The amount of things that man has done, crypto scam, the original controversies with his trip to Japan, just at who he is as a person, no. It's very, very clear no. The only thing I enjoy about Logan Paul's performances is that I can see that other folks, especially Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, they legitimately kick shit at him. They will kick the shit at him, and then they'll go backstage and be like, "Well done, brother. You're awesome. Well done. You're protecting the business. You're really naturally talented, and you've got a knack for this." And you can clearly see the conversations before going out is, yeah, how about you do this spot, brother? You'll be brilliant at that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Me bump? No, brother. No, you take the bump. You can do it. No, this is all about you, man. It's all about you. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And then they beat the crap out of him, and then they go backstage. Wow, you took your licks. Well done there, son. Well done. When in reality, none of them like him, and they're beating him up. And Logan Paul is like a talented version of the KSI and I Show Speed appearances. It's amazing advertising for WWE. Having Logan Paul, his millions and millions and millions of followers and audience, they're keyed in. They're now coming to watch WWE just because he's in it. Logan Paul doesn't need the money from WWE. He's getting an exuberant amount of money, but he didn't need it. And he said that himself, and he's right because he's minted. He does it because he likes doing it and he likes the attention and he likes to play wrestler. I do think Logan Paul does respect wrestling. I think he respects the business as it is. I think he really is keyed in on that bit. But I genuinely like WWE just get the advertising for it, and they've done the right thing with it. I just genuinely don't like seeing the man on my television. I don't like it. I don't wish the man ill will, but yeah, just no. I will say though, athleticism wise, he's amazing. He has a natural knack for it, but he's now the guy that, like, I believe he's the only one that came off a chamber in that match. No one else had to take silly spots because they knew he would do it. And they gave it to him, like, oh, kid, you go, this is your thing. On you go, this is your moment. Go do your thing. No one else had to do it because he did it. No one else had to risk their knees because he did it. Yeah, right. Moving on from that rant. I can feel my veins popping. What's going on with Seth Rollins? I'm struggling. I'm struggling to get into the Seth Rollins thing. I really am. The whole thing with him smashing in Roman's head at Rumble. I know he's bitter. I know he's a bit like, but for my black and white brain of heel face, I don't know where he's coming from. Everything he does is heel, but everywhere he acts when he talks and everything, most of the time, is face. The crowd react to him as face, and yet broke my heart, son of a bitch, with the curb stomp. I'll get to that in a minute. Damian Priest, I'm drawn in with Damian Priest. I'm a Damian Priest fan now. Didn't like him. I thought he was vanilla as hell. And all of a sudden, once he leaves the Judgment Day, I'm in. I love him. I think Damian Priest is excellent. I think he's a great worker. Love the guy. Damn near had a heart attack when I learned that he is 41. Again, Damian Priest is 41. What's your secret, man? Wow. I couldn't believe it. And it made me love him even more. Just what? I was genuinely gutted that he didn't win it. I would have loved Damian Priest v Cody. I mean, it's not the big money match though, is it? It's not the big money match. The chamber, the men's chamber overall was just a lot of fluff until we got to the end, which was Punk and Cena. That was 2011. One of the best matches ever in WWE, just for the vibe, the hype, the energy of the crowd, was the 2011 Money in the Bank when CM Punk beat John Cena for the title. Everybody remembers that when they watch it. Everyone remembers the hype. Just that whole match was a era-defining match. And the handshake into the hug before they started beating the crap at each other. Yeah, I was there for it. The whole story of Punk's never main evented WrestleMania. This is his chance. Yep, 100%. It was played out right. Punk kicked out of seven finishers. And it wasn't from the same person. It was other people's finishers. It was ridiculous. It was PlayStation levels, press triangle. But I was in with it. It maybe went slightly over the top. My purist part of me was twitching a bit, but I was there for it. I was screaming, I was roaring. I was like, come on. I wanted Punk. And I've never been like, I watch wrestling and I don't tend to have like favorite wrestlers. I don't have like fanaticism. I appreciate work, character. I'm a bit cold and logical like that. But I was there for this. I was like, come on, Punk, come on. And then fucking Seth Rollins comes in with that curb stomp. Oh my god. And then John Cena locked that STF in. And by the way, obviously leading in the next bit, but I was like, there was a vibe straight away here that something was different. Something was different because I popped for something stupidly massive and stupidly not what everyone else would have popped for. So, did anyone else notice when John Cena locked in the STF that is the first time in John Cena's entire fucking career that he's locked that STF in properly? And let me explain why. See people that train in wrestling and know wrestling, know that John Cena does not lock that in. That is not a lock. There's nothing happening here. It's round and tight or reverse butcher grip and knuckles in the face. John Cena has never locked that in properly. That night he locked it in properly, and I am adamant that man through the career when he had the bouillet, when everyone hated John Cena, but everyone loved John Cena. We hate John Cena. We love John Cena. And he played on that. And he used to get called out for, he never locks the STF in properly. And he's like, do you know what? I'm going to lock it in like this. Anyway. And because it elicits a reaction. If he locked it in properly, people would stop having that reaction. They stopped talking about him. They stopped bitching about him online. And he locked it in properly. And I was like, what is this? What is this madness? He beat him. I was very disappointed. I was very, very disappointed. I was a little bit deflated because I know that the money match is Cena, the retirement run against Cody, and I was like, I'm not really into this Mania match. I'm going to watch it. I'll enjoy it, but I'm not hyped for it. And then The Rock came out. Well, then Cody came out, and then The Rock came out. I love this version of Rock. I know there was a lot of criticism on the whole promo of Rock coming in and asking Cody for his soul. I loved it. I loved every second of it. I love this Rock. This is not just final boss Rock. This is corporate, big money. I have power Rock. And the whole Rock speaks to the audience as a face, and the audience like the line that got me was like, "Oh, we've just passed 2 billion on Moana, a billion on Moana too. Thank you for that. Thank you for that." And the crowd went, "Yay!" And I'm like, "He's ripping the piss. He's telling you gave him money. Thanks for feeding me." And he's always like that with crowd now, and the crowd always pop for him because it's a Rock. But I love the look. I love the demeanor. I loved the little documentary type package it played before this, where it was like, oh, Rock's done this. Rock gives opportunities. Rock's had WWE superstars in his movies. He gives people what they want, and yeah, I love this. I love this version of Rock. But then everyone was moaning about how much time he took on the thing, how he asked for Cody's soul. The press conference after, how he said quite openly, there doesn't need to be a match between Rock and Cody at Mania because that's what everybody wanted. And everyone was like, shit, WWE, wrestling's rubbish. Aye, patience. Can we wrestling fans, can we just have patience? Can we just wait to see how things play out? Because look at what we're getting now. Look at what we've got. We don't need Rock in the ring. Rock does not need to be in the ring against Cody because what we have now is a complete 180 turn on where I was. I was literally like, Cody John Cena. Then what happened? And now I'm like, oh my god, Cody John Cena, let's fucking go. Huh? Yeah, so John Cena turned heel. John Cena turned heel. I waited 20 years for this. John Cena turned heel. The man that would never turn heel has turned heel. And what a heel turn. That is an era-defining moment in professional wrestling. You only get things like this big every so often. Finishing the story last year was a pretty big one. Hard to top, but heel John Cena. Heel, and we've got about a year left of this man appearing. Because he did say it was 2026, he's officially retiring. So we've got a year of heel John Cena. Yes, please. That look with the hug as well. I mean, that's already all over the internet. The hug, and then just the way The Rock looked at him, and he's like, and then the whooping. The unfortunate fact that Cody's blade didn't work because Even my wife spied that Cody held on to his gimmick the entire time he was getting beaten on. Yeah, and the first couple of times it didn't work. So legitimate title shots, which were absolutely sickening, thunk. I love the fact that no one seems to be talking about it online. The fact that the watch was used to punch him, and there was this whole thing where The Rock gifted Cody a watch last year, which I think was a real gift. And The Rock just whispered something in Cody's ear. It was probably something like, "Well done, so proud of you, you're great." And the internet latched onto this, and it became is it a storyline? Is it real? The lines of reality blurred for some people, and it was like, "What did Rock say to Cody?" Oh, and they were both like, "Oh, we'll never tell." Well, yeah, because it was a personal thing, and it wasn't actually part of the storyline, but the world made it a part of the storyline. But yeah, then to see the watch and then pow, um, the title shots sickening, the choking of the tie, which there's been an issue with that before in the past when Daniel Bryan did it. Apparently, it was too far and he got fired. Remember, it was just vicious, absolutely vicious. And then Rock whipping him like a government mule, with Cody's soul in the belt. I loved it. It was everything I wanted, and I'm so into what's coming there. I'm excited for Mania. The other thing is that with my little autistic brain, it clicked at one point for me. At one point, it clicked. Remember Bad Blood? The Rock came out at Bad Blood randomly at the end of the night and did a gesture with his hand. And then nothing came of it. The Rock wasn't appearing. The Rock didn't come back. And everyone was like, well, that was such a non-thing. And, you know, as wrestling fans, we just assumed that it was an idea. Rock got busy, politics, whatever, movies, and the storyline was dropped. So it was a false start. I'll remind you what The Rock did when he came out. Now, I could be wrong here. I could be overanalyzing. I could be going into the fan fiction territory. But The Rock came out of Bad Blood and did that. That's all he did. He stood there and did that gesture and then walked away. Nothing came of it. Can I just remind everybody that John Cena does that? So I don't know. Was that foreshadowing? Quite possibly. And if it was, that's brilliant. I love the WWE long-term storytelling because I was one of the biggest haters of WWE for a long time. I stopped watching because of the Saudi stuff and I got dragged back in. I'm still not happy about the Saudi stuff. And I'm certainly not happy about the Vinnie Mac stuff, but the fact that Vinnie Mac's gone is a huge thing. But this long-term little storytelling, this new era of WWE jumping to Netflix, the level of production, the new minimalist staging, the tighter crowd stuff, the storylines, I'm loving it. I'm a huge wrestling fan again. I love watching it again, which is really weird for me because I can't usually just turn off for that. NXT is still my jam. If you can watch NXT, watch that. I prefer the characters on NXT. I prefer that little close knit thing. But yeah, I'm excited for Mania. I'm so excited. Yeah, that is the Elimination Chamber 2025. And I swore to myself I was going to make this video smaller, and I didn't. It's about the same length. Yeah. So anyway, usual last thing, socials. Email at official@letstalkaboutmeh@gmail.com. Instagram is Let's Talk About Meh 1 and TikTok is Let's Talk About Meh 6. If you could, please give me a like, share, and subscribe. I am actually going to have an attempt at building this up a little bit, just a little bit more. It's difficult. It ain't easy. I'm not exactly a sociable guy. So any help anyone can give me, I really appreciate it. Just give us a like, a share, a subscribe, and it really, really helps me build this channel. And if you like hearing me nattering about stuff, then, you know, stick around because it's more of that. I have got more podcasts planned as well. It's just life. It's all it is just trying to get time to do it. But anyway, thank you for sitting and listening to me natter about Elimination Chamber, and I will see y'all later. Peace. So we got a wee added bit on here. This is my son, Corvin. Say hello.
Hi.
Hi. So Corvin is a huge wrestling fan and is the reason why I kind of got back into wrestling on a more regular basis because you really like watching it too, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we started with NXT. And
Was
then
it or was it AEW? Or was it
I think Grandad showed you clips of AEW and then you'd watch some of that at Grandad's.
I think he showed me the clips and then I think we watched the first WrestleMania.
Yes, that's when
And
you
then-
really that's when you really got into it was the
Yeah.
first WrestleMania because you really took to Cody Rhodes with that, didn't
yes.
you? Right. So the question is this, yeah?
Mhm.
What was your favorite bit about Elimination Chamber 2025? What was the favorite moment?
John Cena turned bad.
John Cena turning bad. I think that's everybody's favorite moment. John Cena turning
Yeah.
bad. But Cody Rhodes is your favorite,
Yeah,
and John Cena whopped Cody Rhodes.
I know.
He whopped him, Corvin.
No.
So, are you looking forward to Cody Rhodes beating up John Cena at Mania?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, you think John Cena's gonna be a really good baddie? It's gonna be so bad.
But he just turned bad and he's about to retire.
I think that's why though, because John Cena is coming to the end of his career, so he's never done it in 20 years. 20 years, John Cena. I mean, he was a little bit heelish when he started, when he was the rapper, but
Yeah.
John Cena, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. I think you knew it was a big moment too.
Yeah.
What did our faces look like when it happened? Yeah, our jaws hit the floor. Who was your favorite in the women's elimination chamber?
Liv.
Liv.
Yeah.
Liv, your favorite in there.
Because the reason why is I know she got whooped in it, but I like because I like her gimmick in that.
And you like you're a big fan of Dominic. You like Dominic
Yeah.
Mysterio. So the fact that she's
And
the Judgment
Damien.
and Damien. Well, Damien's not in Judgment Day now. Though.
I know, but I still like him.
Yeah, you wanted Damien to win the men's.
Yeah, but that he didn't.
one. I know. I was sad about that too.
Yeah.
So it was Damien.
Because you fell asleep.
I drifted. I did mention. I drifted. Don't out me, boy. I didn't fall asleep. We were disappointed that Punk didn't get it then.
Yeah.
We were disappointed that Damien got put it, and then we were disappointed that Punk got put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're looking forward to Mania now, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah, and you're making me watch it live, aren't you?
Yeah.
You realise it's 2 nights back to back,
I know.
and I've got to watch it live with you.
Yeah. Both of them.
Are you going to be making me all the coffee? Yeah, that's fair. Right.
No, you need to make all the coffee.
I need to make all the coffee. Okay. Right. Well, I think I'm probably going to do a Mania video after this as well because I've actually quite enjoyed doing this. And then you and me can have a wee chat after Mania, yeah? Yeah, right. Cool. You going to say bye?
Bye.
Bye. Peace.